We are live on YouTube. Good afternoon, amigos, from
Tlaquepaque, Jalisco, or Tlaquepaque.
Tlaquepaque, Jalisco. Today we are talking all about things you should know before going to Mexico. And that pertains to whether you're coming or going to Mexico just for a short trip, maybe spring break, or you're planning on moving here like we did. Yeah, is that
Sorry,
everything?
yeah, I'm okay. Got cinema over here.
I, this video is live. We will be answering your questions a little bit along the way.
Yes.
I think this is going to be one of our most valuable videos that we have ever made, given that it has a little bit of 2 years of our mistakes put into this video to help you out, and also plenty of your comments from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. You guys, our community, the best community on all of the interwebs, have pitched in to help make this video possible and help provide all the tips you're about to hear. Thank you everybody for jumping on. We're talking all about things you should know before moving to Mexico. We will answer your questions as we go along and as we add in some of the tips as we go. If you're new around here, we are two estadounidenses. We are from the United States. We've been living in Mexico for the better part of 2 years now, and our goal through YouTube, Instagram, social media is to share a different side of Mexico, a side of Mexico that you don't typically see in the news with the world.
Yeah, so if you love Mexico half as much as we do, we encourage you to join over 400 of your closest friends and amigos on our Patreon website. We'll post a link below as soon as this video is over. Consider subscribing.
Greetings to everybody for jumping on.
Thank you.
We have a few new patrons to salute: Jennifer, Anissa, and Brandini. Thank you
all
so much.
Thank you to all of our patrons.
Things you should know before moving to Mexico. Our tip, we'll kick it off on a funny note because that's how we do, but this one, not quite life-saving, but it's day-saving.
It could even be potentially like vacation / trip saving, and that is to always carry a little bit of change in your pocket as well as toilet paper.
Yes. Okay, so the toilet paper and change things. Most restrooms in Mexico are like the public bathrooms. You have to pay, so whether it's at a bus stop or maybe
typically
just,
like in parking garages is where I think of them.
parking
Like
garage.
if you're on a stroll or things like that. Always have toilet paper. This sounds funny. I keep a little pack of to-go tissues in my backpack for those times. Sometimes there's toilet paper available. Oftentimes there is not. So if you want to save yourself some a crappy day,
Okay.
consider packing some for the road.
There you go, all of our viewers, all of our subscribers. Thanks for jumping on. Troy, saw you come across the screen.
Yes.
CS, you had a great question. That could be through Patreon, Super Chat, or PayPal. All of those are usually linked in the description of the video. I don't know if it is here on the live. Churros, of course, churros. Siempre churros. Siempre churros. Okay, now to the list from you all, our community. John from Patreon, don't panic and always bring a towel. Talk to people. How have you been? And hear and always be flexible and understand that no matter how well you plan, stuff happens. You may need to change plans. A misconnection, bad weather, unexpected costs, a hotel or Airbnb lost a reservation, etc., etc. And learn some basics and learn some basic Spanish. So don't panic. Bring a towel. I'm not exactly sure what the towel is for, John. My assumption would be in Vallarta, I would use a towel when it's just hot outside.
Yeah. I think that like a sweat towel or a little towel to dry your hands on, things like that, that's always a great idea, especially for us. We're always out of the house every single day. I think the better picture here is to be flexible. Same as in the States, I'm sure in Canada, all across the world, things may not go exactly according to plan, so being flexible in terms of a missed connection, things like that. Just be prepared for anything.
Yes, thank you all for jumping on. We're talking all about things you should know before coming to Mexico. Troy is actually on the live, or he was on the live a minute ago, actually. Troy from Ajijic or San Antonio. Don't believe everything that you read in a Facebook group or see on YouTube.
Unless it's here.
unless it's here on Kinetic.
No, still. We are a biased news source.
News.
we're a biased source as much as every other outlet out there, if you will. So, do your own research. Do look through Facebook groups. Especially do watch our videos, but also do your own. Dig a little bit deeper and don't believe everything you read or hear on the surface. A lot of it is sensationalized.
Most importantly, just come find out for yourself. Go to a few different places, test it out. Do your research on YouTube and find different sources, different vlogs, different people that you enjoy watching or reading. Kind of gather that information together, but come down for yourself and experience it, because until you experience it, it just doesn't completely make sense. Now, we're talking all about things you should know before coming to Mexico. This one, just off the top of my head, read it as your comments are coming back. Admin, I've got a little man bun right here. We'll get to the haircut issue later, but if you're going to Mexico City and you want a quesadilla, you have to order the quesadilla.
Oh no.
Con queso, amigos. This is an important tip. In the whole rest of Mexico, quesadillas siempre viene con queso. They always come with queso. In Mexico City, if you want a quesadilla, be sure to tell them
with cheese.
With cheese. That's a silly one, but if you want your food
very practical
to be right. Before we go any further, be sure to comment below. Let us know any tips or tricks that we are leaving out or may have left out. If you watched the whole video, we need your help. We need your help. That's basically the end of that sentence. Okay, the next one. Let's see. We have Danielle saying from Instagram, "You will get kisses on the cheek. Lots of them."
This is very real, and this is sort of like something to know, I think, before you travel anywhere outside of your home country, that the greeting is different. For guys, the handshake is even different here. If it's a guy meeting a guy or saying hello to a guy friend, girls and guys, be ready for those kisses. They're coming in. Some of them are coming in hot. Some of them are coming in just a tad too long, but be ready for that kiss on the cheek.
That one was always strange. We did a whole video on that one.
Now I'm used to it. Bring it on.
See if someone can comment below with the link to that video.
Sometimes I go for two.
Let's see. Where are we at here?
Lucy from Facebook.
Lucy from Facebook. Bring warm clothes in the winter. Not everything is sun and sand, and at least in Mexico City, be prepared to experience all 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, I think this is very, very, very true anywhere in central Mexico and also along the coast. I can remember some of the hottest times in Vallarta. It would rain at night, and then after that it would get a bit chilly. So always a good travel recommendation, whether it's Mexico or anywhere in the world. We would recommend bringing a light sweater or jacket, because especially in central Mexico, you may be freezing in the morning and sweating in the afternoon. So just plan accordingly, dress in layers.
Yes, and I would say for all of our San Miguel de Allende amigos or Guanajuato amigos, the Querétaro amigos, that's going to apply as well. We know a lot of our retiree communities probably not necessarily looking to move to Mexico City necessarily, but San Miguel de Allende is going to be pretty similar. If you're just now jumping on, we are talking all about things you need to know before coming or going to Mexico. We are obviously live here on YouTube. We're going to answer a few of your questions as we go through some of these community tips and tricks. These are your tips. We have gone to Lucha Libre, actually, responding to a comment. We just weren't able to make a video.
Next is Dragonzer from Instagram. His recommendation is do not drink the water from the sink. We completely agree. There's no fluff here. Don't drink the tap water in Mexico. If you ask for water at a restaurant, if you ask for a glass of water, it will be filtered. We've absolutely never had not a single problem with that, but do not drink the water from your home or apartment faucet.
Yeah. So that's one of the few things you hear about Mexico that's actually true. But again, when we go to restaurants, we almost never order una botella de agua. We always just ask for
a glass.
A glass of water, un vaso de agua. I know some people say the water's okay, but I mean, I've asked on Twitter plenty of times, and most people...
Let's just say every place we've ever stayed, the tap water is not clear.
Right. but water is I feel like it's affordable here.
Yes.
Admin says people here do not drink the water from the faucet. Thank you, admin, for
Someone
for
says the
jumping in.
water is perfectly fine. That's up to you guys. Our recommendation strongly is do not
Just drink beer.
Yes. That.
What's our next one here?
Next is Christian from Patreon. Her advice, or his advice, is visit the indigenous people in their communities before visiting the modern cities. Look, our recommendation. Thank you, Paul.
Super chat.
Thank you so much for the very first super chat for some churros.
Ooh, $5 for churros. Oh my gosh.
That's gonna go far.
Considering they're 12 pesos a piece for the medium-sized churro here.
How many is that?
Tlaquepaque. Oh man, I don't know. That's a lot of churros. More than we can eat.
We would definitely recommend visiting an indigenous community. We had a connection in Querétaro where we were able to do that a couple different times, actually. I know in Oaxaca there are several opportunities, but whether it's first or last, I think that's an important part of visiting Mexico.
Yes, we had a viewer question come up. They asked about where to stay in Mexico City, I believe, in the F. Fernanda. It's gone, but Condesa or Centro. I'm gonna go Centro if you're there if you're there to visit. Go to Centro. That's where everything is. That's where all the museums are close by.
Yes.
Condesa is beautiful. We liked living in Condesa. I wouldn't say we loved living in Condesa. It's a beautiful neighborhood to visit. But if you're just there, if you're in Mexico City for only a few days, I would consider staying, Centro and branching out to the different neighborhoods from there.
Next on the list, Martha from Facebook. Her recommendation is come prepared to stay longer than you thought. Isn't that everyone's dream?
It happens to the best of us.
Here we are 2 years later wondering how we're still here. I kind of agree. I feel like if you have the opportunity to come without an immediate return date, I think it would be a good idea to book a one-way flight, and you may find that traveling within Mexico is a lot easier, cheaper, more fun, etc. than you expected. So come prepared. Bring a few extra pair of undies.
Yes, we had one here. CS, don't feel offended. We've never been to Sinaloa. These are just our recommendations from our time in Vallarta in Central Mexico and our interactions with Mexicans in Central Mexico.
But if you have clear water at your house, we're coming over.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Mexico. It's an enormous country
Right.
with how many different cities and states? 30, 31 different states. It's going to be different from place to place, which is why we say there's only so much you can I don't know, take from a video like this or a blog. We've only been to so many places, but just go do what the locals are doing wherever that is you happen to be going. But that involves actually getting there. I am a lucky man. My wife is beautiful.
Thank you, Oscar.
Super chat.
Chat.
Thank you so much, Oscar. Your super chats, our Patreons, likes, comments, even these views live, everything helps us continue to share the beauty of Mexico with the world aside of Mexico that just sadly isn't shown anywhere else.
Next on the list.
Where are we at here?
Sorry, we're losing our place. Here.
Victor from Patreon. Un patron, how to get deals on hotels, flights, and travel packages. More of a question, how to know and avoid unsafe areas. How to know and avoid unsafe areas. We'll focus in on that one because I think that's obviously something that comes up with Mexico a lot. What would you say our strategy is, if you will, in terms of that?
I mean, we sort of take a lot of your community recommendations in terms of where to go, where not to go. And I know that for someone that's coming to Mexico, we are very lucky in that sense that you guys really fill us in. I'm not sure that we do. We will Google search a city. We will Google search crime in a city. But again, take all articles with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You can look on the official website, like the government website, in terms of like travel warnings, things like that. We use the website numbio.com sometimes to look some things up. Here's the thing. If you are in the center of a town where the plaza and the cathedral are, which is pretty much in everywhere we've ever been, is pretty much a safe place to start. Was that
That's where
Is that
that's
fair?
where in the places we've been, Puebla, Zacatecas, man, there's a
Forget the
lot.
list.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Brittany.
for making me not think for a
Yes,
second.
thank you.
A lot of
It's a
places in
good
central
place to
Mexico.
start. Right.
Exactly.
It's a good place to start. And again, that's central Mexico.
Hmm.
Um, and branching out from there, here's the thing. If you walk onto a street in your hometown and you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach that I may not should be here, this doesn't
Hmm.
feel quite right, same feeling.
Yes, and I would say kind of my tip since we ever moved to Mexico, really began traveling is, let's say, start off in El Centro or a neighborhood or a touristy spot. I mean, just start off in a touristy spot
Right.
is an easy tip.
Plan to branch out from there. Ask around. I think that's a
Ask
great. I
around.
think that's a great thing to do.
I
Join
think.
Facebook groups. You can ask in Facebook groups. Hey, is this neighborhood in Guadalajara
Mhm.
safe? What do you guys think? Does anyone live there? Things like that. I think using resources with the invention of social media is using social media in the best way possible.
Exactly, and take note as to what your surroundings look like and make that a baseline. And then obviously
Mm,
that baseline is going to move up or down. And if it starts to go down
mm.
from your baseline, then it doesn't necessarily mean it's a dangerous area. It just means you went into an area that's a lot different, if you will,
Yeah,
than the one you started in. So just always be aware, or
it's
as
possible.
aware
Uh
as you
huh.
can. Establish a baseline.
Yes.
Just
Use your gut. Use that
use
gut.
your
Use that
gut.
taco
We
gut.
knock on wood. We've never had an issue with that, and uh, I don't know what more we can say about that. Someone asked what time it is here. We are 6:19. It is Central Time. We are in Central Time and
We're in
for
Mexico City.
Mexico.
No, we're not.
Someone asked again, quick before we go any
Yeah.
further. Chivas or America? Hmm.
No, you didn't, Chivas.
Oh man, okay. We just lost a bunch of subscribers or gained a lot. I don't know. Things you should know before moving to Mexico.
Next on the list
Let's start.
is
This is a go to Mark from Facebook, from our Facebook group. Embrace the differences between your home country and Mexico. I could not agree more, Mark.
yeah, I think that's great advice. To come here, as much research as you do, as much as you all watch our videos, which we are so thankful
Mm.
for. It's important that you visit here or anywhere in the world with an open mind and embrace the differences. The buildings
Hmm.
look different here. They're beautifully colored. The cars look different here. Everything is going to be different. The music is different here, and I think embracing that really allows your heart to be open to something that's super different.
Yeah, don't try and bring where you're from to where you're going. I mean, it's as close to Mexico as the United States is. It's really crazy how different
Mm-hmm.
the culture is. Do not try to bring the United States here.
It's hard.
Things will blend in time,
Uh huh.
but as much as you can, just try and adapt to the way of life here, and it will all work out. Thank you, Richie, new subscriber. Thanks for jumping on. We've got a few more tips, things you need to know before you move to
Yes.
Mexico. Then we'll start answering some of your questions. We can't wait to chat with all of you guys.
So many questions.
There are a lot,
Okay.
a lot. Thank you all.
Um, Luciano from Facebook, don't use the money exchange services at the airport. Find an ATM at an actual bank.
Hmm.
Use Uber if available as opposed to taxis. And beggars are common and will especially look for tourists. These are three very, very great points. We completely agree with the first one. We'd never have used a money changing service at the airport. I think
Well, when we
sometimes-
have, we realized it was a ripoff.
yeah,
Don't
I
we
think
agree?
they have fees and things like that. We've never had a problem using an actual ATM affiliated with an actual bank. We're also not a fan of like these cashola things that you'll find in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of parks and things. Go to an actual bank. They're located everywhere here, and I think that that's the safest way
Bancomer,
to grab pesos.
H.
HSBC, there's
HSBC,
Bancomer, Banorte.
Banorte.
There's probably a million we're leaving out.
Use Uber if available instead of taxis. I agree. Unfortunately, a lot of the the dog's
Dogs
barking.
think so too.
A lot of taxis in not every city, and you know, we hate to say this, but they definitely have the reputation we've seen of they're gonna try and take advantage of you as much as you can, whether you're speaking Spanish, whether you're Mexican or not. Oaxaca is the one state I can say pretty much in the whole state where
Yeah,
like the
you're right.
prices were super reasonable. They were always incredibly friendly. But Uber, the transparency is nice. Sometimes, I mean, it's not the best company, I don't think either, so it has its own issues. In a perfect world, taxis will start to be a little bit more fair. If you do use taxis, ask for the price before you get in.
Yeah.
Do not get to your destination and then ask for the price.
Thank you so much, Luis, for your huge
Super
super
chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Luis. Trasa from Patreon. I don't know why I just went a Spanish accent there. Would like information on temporary residency and the entire process.
This is a great question, and we actually have no idea the answer, but that's exactly why I wanted to bring it up. Greg and I are looking into temporary residency requirements, the process, that whole, the whole aura surrounding that, and of course we are going to bring you guys along every single step of the way. So stay tuned for that, because hopefully in the next several months, we will unofficially be Mexicanos.
Well, we'll be temporary residents, not quite. And if you have any information about that, link below or whatever your experience is. Ronaldo has started the super chat equals churros. Our churro fund is growing. Thank you for growing our churro fund.
I think
Tonight, if it does not rain, we are going to put the churro fun
to
work. Exactly. How many more do we have left here? Let's see. Addie from Facebook. Don't be afraid to ask for directions or help.
Yeah. I think it's overwhelming to come into any country where people are speaking a different language than you, or if you happen to speak Spanish already, just coming into a different culture. I think the instinct for a lot of people, myself absolutely included, is to become more introverted and to feel as if you're out on this island all by yourself with no one to help you. That is absolutely not the case. I think the more that we have become comfortable asking for help, whether that's for directions or recommendation for a place to eat or a beach recommendation or something to do, I think that the better and sweeter our experiences have been. It's led us to friends, it's led us to good food, things like that. So the sooner you can feel comfortable in asking for help, I think the better all-around picture of Mexico that you'll be able to share.
Exactly, and you will learn Spanish a lot quicker as well. The people are nice. Ask for help. They're not going to tell you if they don't know where it's at. They're going to say,
para allá.
Exactly. It's an inside joke for anybody who saw the video from 2 days ago.
Yes.
We have one or two more. We'll let this be the last tip you should know before moving to Mexico, and then we're going to answer as many of your questions as we can.
Alejandra, thank you so much for your super chat. We're gonna have more super chat money. Thank you, Carlos.
The churro fund
is getting bigger than my belt can handle.
Speaking of food, our last tip comes from Javi from Instagram, at Kinetic Kennons Dos Instagram if you're not following us there, or at Kinetic Kennons on our normal Weta Instagram. It's how to hold a taco. How do you hold a taco?
Well, my pinkies kind of do this anyway. So.
Okay, to be fair, we've never had any formal lessons on how to hold a taco. This is just from experience, but I believe you want to hold them from the top. So say the tortilla is here. I should have brought an example. You don't want to hold it like this, trying to shovel it in your mouth. It's got to be from the top there.
Oh, okay.
Before you got to put this a little bit of salt, maybe some lime, some salsa. Pick it up from the top, and then go at it.
Pinky out, so we stay classy. Someone else had a good comment in terms of tacos.
Gordes, Jeff, thanks for jumping on.
Adrian HSC from Instagram. Don't judge a salsa by its looks. There's very, very spicy salsa and there's very non-spicy salsa. Never judge a salsa by its looks. Always do the taste trick where you dot some on your hand and it'll lick your hand like this.
Put a little bit on that. Get that. Sometimes the one that looks like the spiciest isn't necessarily always a spicy, and the one that looks tame is not necessarily tame. So try before you put it on your taco. I've made the mistake with habanero salsa. I thought it was a sweet mango salsa.
And I thought Greg was not going to see daylight the next day.
I thought it was. I thought that was the end. That was the end. Those are all the tips we have for what you need to know, things you need to know before your trip to Mexico.
Yes.
Now we can finally answer some of your questions and chat with all of you. If you're just now jumping on, you can watch this on a replay, I suppose, and get some of our first tips. Or you can always comment down below.
Thank you so much, Ed, for your super chat.
Thanks for the info about PV Swell Beach Bar. And Ben,
thank you both so much for your super chat. Super chat.
We really appreciate it. All right, your questions. We will love to chat. David, love you back, amigo. Thanks so much. Pablo, thanks for jumping on. Ruben.
Have we been to Acapulco? Not yet.
We have
Maybe
not.
One day.
We have not
You're
been.
good at rolling your tortillas. I think I'm a little better.
She is. She's way better. She's way better.
How come we don't speak Spanish? That's a great question. This video is in English. However, we do have about one
español, amigos?
per week in Spanish. Still perfecting our Spanish skills.
Sí. Y también tenemos un cuenta de Instagram en español. Pues, a veces.
Kinetic Kennons 2.
Kinetic Kennons 2. Heading to TJ. Shout out. Jose. Shout out. I don't know if that's what he was going for.
Are you guys visiting Zapopan? Claro. Yes, we are visiting Zapopan.
We've actually been, well, twice, right? I mean, the Chivas Stadium is in Zapopan, and then we have a video coming soon, 2 days from Bosque de Colomos, I believe in Zapopan, kind of on the Zapopan thing.
Try speaking Spanish live, maybe next time. This one's going to be in English.
We're going to vamos a hacer videos en español cada lunes.
Despacito remix music video. When are you mad funny?
That's how you get her attention. Oh, thank you. You just got your KK shirt.
Oh.
Send us like an Instagram or something with you with it. That'd be awesome. How often do you need to give money?
Change? Like how often do we get pesos out of the ATM? I'm assuming what that means. It really depends.
Yeah.
I think you can get anywhere up to like maybe 6,000 pesos out at a time. So that really depends.
Bestie, darling, super chat. What neighborhood in Querétaro would you live in with a dog? That's interesting. We honestly did not see that many dogs in Querétaro. We lived in El Centro, and if you hadn't said with the dog, I would have said Centro for sure because it's the most beautiful part. It has the colonial. But if you have a little dog or a big dog that loves to run outside, I would say maybe more on the outskirts in the like neighborhoods. What was that? Cimetario. There's tons of green space around there. If you have a car. Yes, and if that doesn't help, send us an email at Kinetic Kennons, and we can try and follow up and give you a little bit more information. KineticKennons@gmail.com. That's the real email address. What did I say? Kinetic Kennons. Sorry. Jane asked, did you say we'd started temporary residency? No, we have some knowledge up here, and that's about as far as we've gotten. We haven't started pulling paperwork because I didn't want to start pulling my hair out yet. Enchiladas o chiles rellenos. Ooh, chiles rellenos. All the way. I mean, I like enchiladas, but chile rellenos all the way. Hola, amigos, from Querétaro. Octavio, thanks for jumping on, amigo. Hola, Francisco. Tortas ahogadas. Yeah, amigo, en el video de ayer. Right? Oh, someone said we're a pretty pair. Oh, someone's from Corinth. Thanks for jumping on from Corinth. Wow. I grew up really close to Corinth, actually. Any other questions? We have time for like 1 or 2 more questions. We can do a few more, I think. Okay. We'll see. 3 or 4. We'll see. Tigres. Everyone's just arguing about Fuera te amo. Shut up. Oh jeez, they're feeding her ego. Guys, I'm watching from Michoacan. Thank you so much for watching from Michoacan. We are trying to plan some potential Michoacan. We're not exactly sure when. Aloha state of mind. You have been with us since day one. We just want to tell you that we appreciate it. I lost your question already. We're for sure going to answer it. Are there any pueblos in Mexico getting overrun by gringos? I mean, that's super hard to say, like, I mean, because everybody has a different definition of overrun, that's hard. I suppose. That's hard. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, my thought would be no. But
I feel very strongly in a weird way about this in terms of like I don't let other people like I'm not really sure what that means.
For example, Ajijic has a percentage-wise has a high percentage of gringos, of extranjeros, of jubilados, for retirees, and that city is one of the most Mexican cities we have been to.
I agree.
So it really so far hasn't. I'm sure the city has changed, right? Like every city is changing, but like Mexico City, Querétaro, Guadalajara, with obviously a bigger Mexican population, those cities are much more modern and have all those amenities that you may think of than a place like even Vallarta or San Miguel de
This guy looks like a movie actor. There you go, Greg. Someone asked a very interesting question I would like to address. It concerns our tax situation. Rick Smith, hello, Güero and Güera y Güero. I was wondering why you don't address whether you report all of your donations from your Patreon account to the IRS. Thank you so much. I am actually a CPA, and thanks for your concern. We do report all of our money to the IRS as required by law. We got that under control.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
If there's one thing I know how to do, it's our own taxes.
She does not want to lose her license for that one, and it's I didn't feel like it was something we were dodging by any means. The IRS is a criminal organization.
All right, we're not getting into the IRS.
Again, to keep her license. Super chat, thank you.
Thank you so much for your super chat. I'd rather talk about super chats than the IRS or taxes.
We do report our YouTube money to.
Did someone ask that?
No, I'm just saying we report all of our money to the IRS.
Yes.
I mean that's we follow the law.
Any other questions? We'll take like a couple more. I hate Texas. Oh,
taxes. David, thank you so much for the super chat.
Out super chat for the first time.
Did work,
David, we got it.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Joy living is laughing out loud. I'm glad we could bring laughter to your life. Gabby says, thank you for sharing Mexico. Thank you guys for allowing us to share Mexico. We don't say enough. Thank you for allowing Mexico to be our home.
Yes.
Churros reinos calientitos, says Jose. Visit Morelia y Taxco. We definitely want to do that. We are going to do that. It's not we want to. We have a list. We have a plan. We have a plan. There are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you guys don't see.
Someone asked if we get sunburned a lot. No, I put on sunscreen every single day. Mom, if you're watching this, I put on sunscreen every single day. Tell her.
Most days.
Oh, come on.
I mean, the only time we get sunburned is if we're in like the first day in a beach place is usually the worst. Her scalp gets burned. Central Mexico, hashtag pro tip, do put on sunscreen. The sun at the elevation,
very intense.
5,000-6,000 feet up high, or however many, 2,000 meters high. You're gonna feel it. Pátzcuaro.
I know, poor David. It worked.
David,
thank you so much. Oh, that's funny.
Victorino
Someone asked about
laughing.
Pátzcuaro. This is where I need your help, Mexicanos. Pátzcuaro, every hotel is booked this year and next year. I don't believe that that's true. I don't believe that every hotel is booked for Dia de Muertos for 2019. I need help.
We're still working on it, Troy.
Yeah.
If you're watching, we're still trying to figure it out.
That's your dog's name? Greta or Hillary?
I think Octavio. I miss it. I asked how long we will be in Mexico, or how long we've been in Mexico and how long we will be in Mexico. It's been just over 2 years now that we have been in Mexico. We've been making videos for around a year and a half or so. And in terms of how long we will be in Mexico, we don't have any plans to leave. We will be in Mexico for the foreseeable future. But to give you some context, we don't, as always, like a month from now, I don't think we have a place to live, do we?
Less than that. We got 13 more days.
And then we don't know where we're going to be living.
Someone asked, how do you become a patron? That's a great question. We'll just put a link below. If you click on that, it's a website that allows creators like us to create a platform where our community can help support us financially. We'll throw a link below. You can check it out. Check out more there.
It is patreon.com/Kinetic Kennons,
yes.
just in case you're wondering.
Are you going to do something special for Innan's Bay? Independence Day. Duh! Yes, of course.
I don't know if we'll sing with the mariachi, but
I feel like we've been looking forward to Independence Day for since
course.
last Independence Day.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite day of the year. Those 2 days are really my 2 favorite days of the year.
Good question. I lost it.
We guys need to go to Veracruz. I agree. We are going to make that happen. Yes, Ed.
She's a gold digger. Yeah, that's what I am. That's why we're YouTubers, because gold.
It's funny. It's funny how the comments and the conversation changes over time. Yeah.
We'll take a couple more really good questions, not about digging gold. Do you plan on visiting Baja California? Yes, I'm hoping for early 2019. I think that is in the works.
Also, the country wine area in Baja. Mexico Tourism needs to hire you. Aloha.
That's the best comment ever.
That is super nice. And actually, Allie, one of our friends, potentially watching, viewers, kind of works indirectly with Mexico Tourism, and we have worked with them before in going to Oaxaca. Gracias, Oaxaca. Hashtag Oaxaca lo tiene todo.
All right.
What is your dream bucket list destination in Mexico? One of them for sure. I'll say mine, then she can say hers. Is El Chepe.
Oh, that one's good.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, El Chepe is in the works, but El Chepe is a little out of our budget, and by that I mean it's kind of really expensive for us at this time. I would say a bucket list that we've already got to do was visiting La Huasteca Potosina. I rant and rave about the waterfalls, the rivers there, because it was incredible. I had no idea. I want everyone else to have that as their bucket list. But El Chepe, yeah, we keep coming back to El Chepe.
And luckily enough,
Chiapas. I really want to go to Sumidero Canyon.
Cristobal de las Casas, of course. Luckily enough, thanks to all of you guys through your contributions on Patreon, super chats, just liking and watching our videos, and just enjoying us for some crazy reason, it has allowed us to live a bucket list type experience here in Mexico, being able to share Mexico with you guys. What about northern Mexico? That's a good point.
Well, that would be El Chepe.
That would be El Chepe.
Yeah,
and we went
Chihuahua,
to Monterrey.
And we've been to Monterrey.
But northern Mexico is a little bit harder.
Durango,
Central Mexico and southern is, to be quite honest, it's easier to travel quickly, more quickly through. Let's see. Chiapas. Let's see. Who else do we have? Do you know a Mexican joke? Nope. Who decides what to eat, Hill or Güero? Who do you think makes the decisions here?
That's a good one.
Have we thought about doing a meet and greet or something like that? Yes, we were trying to put something together for possibly late November, December.
Did you make a collaboration with Güero TV?
Solo and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that counts as a thing. But no, we just hung out, got to know one another, had a few chelas at 19 pesos a piece. Guanajuato, of course. Güera, of course. No doubt in my mind who's in charge.
What is your favorite paleta flavor? Ooh. Mame.
Mame.
Yeah.
Okay, amigos. Thank you so much for jumping on. Mexicans for Golovkin. Thanks for being with us for so long. Thank you all of you guys for watching this. And we do not play Fortnite. I've never played it before, but we do appreciate everything you do. And what else do we have?
I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for your input. Last question: do you ever want to go back to a more desk job? They got jokes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Be sure and subscribe to our channel. Click the bell. That way you get notified.
Cada vez.
We post a video and we'll see you guys not live. No mistakes.
Well, there'll probably be some mistakes. Tomorrow on YouTube around 9 a.m. or so. Maybe.
Ooh, we're going to have fun tomorrow. Okay, see you guys then.
Marco, it's been 40 minutes, bro. That's not it.
We gotta go buy churros.